Hello and welcome to my Jungle Creep and Jungle Hero guide. In this episode, we'll be discussing the different types of jungle creeps that there are and their skills, along with the different types of jungle heroes and how to use them. To start off, let's mention the layers that there are of the creeps. Each forest has one easy layer, which is the yellow spot. Here is for the Hellborn, and here for the Legion. Two medium camps, here and here, and for the Legion here and here, and finally two hard camps, which are here for the Legion, and here for Hellborn. Now the different difficulties in camps allow different mobs to spawn there of the jungle. So for example, the first few, one from here to here, are easy mobs, here to here medium, here to here hard mobs. The first type of easy camp mob are the Werbies. These spawn as one blue and two brown Werbies, and the only difference between them is their damage. The blue one does more. They have no skills, so there's not much to say about them. The next type of easy jungle creep are the Snotters. They spawn as one Snotter boss and four Snotters. The four Snotters have no skills, whereas the Snotter boss has one, and a haste aura which gives nearby allies 12% movement speed passively in this area. The Antlers are the next type of jungle creep for the easy camps. They spawn as one Antler healer and two Antlings. The two Antlings have no skills but are ranged, whilst the Antler healer has healing skills, which heal his allies for 15 health. He will use this when he's attacked the creeps. The next type of easy are the Spore Splitter and two Urtox. The two Urtox have no skills again, whereas the Spore Splitter has one, which gives a 20% attack speed and movement speed slow. He'll use this constantly when he's attacked. The final easy camp are the Abilas, which spawn as 3. They have no skills and are quite easy. Now the first medium camp we'll be talking about are the Vagabonds. They spawn as two Vagabond Assassins and two Vagabonds. The Vagabond Assassins they both have skills, and the Vagabond Assassin has the Assassin's Touch. This, when it's used on an enemy unit, inflicts an 80% movement speed slow for 5 seconds. It also removes buffs from enemies and debuffs from allies. The Vagabond, on the other hand, has Mystic Orb's Burn. When he targets an enemy with it, he burns up to 100 mana, and that mana burnt is dealt as magic damage. Our next type of medium camp is the Ogres. They consist of two Fire Ogres and one Ice. The Ice Ogre is the only one of the three that has any skills, which is Icy Cold Armor, that when he targets an ally with it, he gives them 8 armor for 30 seconds. Both the Ogres and the Vagabonds will never use their skills when they're attacked. So, for example, the only benefit of the Icy Ogre is if you happen to control one and use it on your allies, as 8 armor is a significant amount. Our next medium camp is the Wild Hunters. These are unique as they're the only ones that are magic immune and thus can't be attacked by spells. They have one skill, which is called On the Hunt, and it gives them stealth for 15 seconds. It also grants them 20% movement speed, and when they attack someone out of stealth, they attack with a 50 bonus physical damage. Our next medium camp is the Minotaur and the Goater. The Goater is skillless, whereas the Minotaur gives 15% attack speed in this aura, and a 2-second stun which deals 25 magic damage. He's very useful to have one under your control, as a 15 attack speed is a very, very large amount. Our final medium camp is the Wolf Commander and the two Wolves. The two Wolves are again skillless. The Wolf Commander has 2 skills. His first one is, the second skill is a critical chance, which gives him a 20% chance to deal twice damage, and it's a passive. His first skill gives everyone in an aura around him 30% extra base damage. Thus he's another very useful creep to have under your control. The first hard creep we'll be talking about are the Vagabond Leader, Vagabond, and Vagabond Assassin. We've already spoken about the Vagabond and Vagabond Assassin in the medium camps, and thus the new one's the Vagabond Leader. He gives passively 3 health regeneration to his nearby allies in this circle, and he also has his first skill, which deals 100 magic damage in this line, 21 this line. So for example there, anyone there would have taken 100 damage. The next hard layer consists of the skeletons. They consist of 1 skeleton king and 2 undead warriors. The undead warriors are skillless, whereas the skeleton king has a ranged mini stun, which immobilizes his enemy for 1.5 seconds. So let me just show it in this. See? Immobilized. Our next hard camp is the Minotaur and Goater. They are similar to the medium camp, but instead of 1 Goater, 2 are spawned. But they have the same skills. Another hard camp is the Vulture Lord, along with 2 Screechers. The Screechers are skillless, whereas the Vulture Lord has a Cyclone, a Tornado. When used, he summons a Tornado. This Tornado, it has a very, very low movement speed, 131, thus it's hard to catch up to heroes. But as you can see, it deals 45 magic damage per second, and also causes minus 15% attack and movement speed, which is quite good. Our final hard camp is the Catman Champion and Catman Soldier. The Catman Soldier is skillless, whereas the Catman Champion has 1 skill, which deals 150 magic damage and 25% attack and movement speed reduction to nearby allies in this radius. Now we'll move on to the Ancient Creeps. The Ancient Creeps spawn here for the Legion, and here for the Hellborn. They give a very, very large amount of gold, and thus are useful to kill. The first type are the dragons. They consist of 2 dragons and 1 dragon master. The 3 of them are skillless. The other type of ancient creep are the predators. They consist of 2 predator crushers and 1 predator. The predators is skillless, whereas the predator crushers have a 3 armor passive aura around them. Though they are relatively skillless near these, they are much harder, as they do much more damage and thus are much more difficult to kill. A final mob who can be considered a creep at times is Kongor. He spawns here, and yeah, he has a very, very large health pool and is very, very, very hard to kill. He's got a stun, which would stun in 1 hit setting. When he's killed, he drops a token of life, and if this token of life is taken by a hero, when that hero dies, if he dies in the next 8 minutes, he's reborn full health, full mana, and wherever he was. Now here, we'll talk about the jungle heroes, sorry. All these jungle heroes have something which helps them farm in the jungle for a reason. Now, these over here are true junglers. They can easily jungle at level 1, whereas these 2 aren't meant to jungle but can jungle if the need arises, as they're better in lane. We'll start off with these 2. The first one is Zephyr. His jungling skill is this one, Cyclones. When he kills an enemy, he gains 1 Cyclone, which deals 25 magic damage to anyone around him, and he can have at most at level 8 Cyclones around him. If he uses the skill, it will consume 1 Cyclone to heal him for 25 health. So for example, let's kill this mob. As you can see, he has a Cyclone near him now, and if I use this skill, it will heal him for 25 health. Our next semi-jungler is Predator. His jungling skill is his 3rd one, Carnivorous, which heals him for 6% of his target's current HP and deals physical damage to that amount healed. So for example, it can keep him in the forest for quite a while. As you can see, his health keeps regenerating, though The lower your enemy's health, the less you'll heal. So it has its advantages and disadvantages, thus he's probably better in lane. Now we'll talk about our main junglers. We'll start with Wild Soul. Wild Soul's main jungle skill is his first one, which is his bear. He can summon a bear who has 1400 health, and with the rest of his skills, his bear will eventually get even more health. He's a good jungler, so his bear can practically attack and yeah, tank damage for him. Our next jungle will be Ophelia. Ophelia's jungle skill is Command. At level 4 it allows her to control 3 neutral creeps. So for example, if she uses it on a Catman champion, that Catman champion becomes hers permanently unless he dies. I can use his skills, and thus she can easily farm by getting many neutral mobs. Our next hero to talk about is Parasite. Now Parasite, his farming skill is Infest. This allows him to enter neutral creep and take control of it. So, for example, if I use it over here, I can enter the jungle, the Vulture Lord, have his skills, and now look, once I exit the creep I get the gold that I have taken from the creep itself. What's unique about Wild Soul that none of the other junglers can do is he can enter these Wild Hunters with his Infest even though they're magic immune, and thus he can use their stealth to gank mid lane or other lanes, giving him quite a nice advantage. Our next jungle hero is Keeper. He can jungle for similar reasons to Wild Soul, as with his skill, his second one, he can summon trees. These trees can then tank damage for him and yeah, they deal an attack, deal damage, so quite useful. So for example here, as you can see, you're not taking any damage and your trees are. When your junglers obviously turn them around a bit, just to avoid dying. Tempest will be the next hero we'll talk about. His second skill allows him to jungle, which is Elemental. This allows him to take control of a creep, kill it, and summon elementals instead. These elementals do quite a lot of damage, and after hitting someone 6 times, they duplicate, thus allowing him to have a very fast farm rate in the forest. Again, Warbeast this is Warbeast, sorry. His farming method is similar to Keeper of the Forest, Tempest, and Ophelia and Wild Soul. He can summon these hellhounds, who'll then tank mobs for him. And yeah, they deal damage same as the others. Now finally we have Artillery, Solstice and Legionnaire. Now Artillery's farming method is his first skill, LRM. This allows him to spam these rockets, and thus, after doing it several times, and since it doesn't cost much mana, he can easily farm many layers fast. Now, one moment, I think I changed the speed. Yeah, sorry. Now Legionnaire farms with his third skill. He's Legionnaire, which is Whirling Blade. It gives him an 8% chance to deal 100 physical damage when he's attacked. Thus, he's best to be attacked when he's surrounded by a lot of mobs. As you can see, there's the attack animation. And yeah, he took down all these mobs to really low health. Our final hero, jungle hero, Solstice. He can jungle with his third skills. This depends on night or day, it's quite a long story, I'll discuss him in a further guide, but every 3 hits, he does cleave damage, with damages at everyone in front of him, as you can see, look. Though he suffers a bit early game, his cleaves become significantly, that's why, you know, you'll have to farm, like, for example, the yellow layers instead of the orange ones at first, as his cleave is a bit weak at the start. Now, this, though it might seem that only Ophelia and Parasite can control creeps, there's an item which allows you to take control of creeps, which is Whispering Helm. It can be used every 300 seconds, and yeah, you can gain, for example, a Minotaur for the extra attack speed, or a wolfman, what's it called? One moment. Yeah, wolf commander for the extra base damage. So, for example, just control this one, and now this one's permanently under my control. The last thing I'd like to mention about jungling is that the first time the jungle mob spawn is at 00:30. After that, they start spawning at 1, at 2, at 3, at 4. Thus, like every 1 minute they spawn. Now there is a small trick that if you attack a jungle mob at around 0:54 or 1:54, 2:54, etc., the mob will follow you and another mob will spawn here. Thus, you'd have doubled the amount of creeps in a camp, which in a way will double the amount you can farm. So for example, I'll show you here how to do it. So at 54, I'll attack these. Run away. Now when I go back, there should be double the creeps there. See? Now this allows me to farm at a much faster rate. You see they're all being damaged easily. I think that's about it for my jungling guide. I'll be releasing more guides soon. Thank you for watching.